Hey, what's going on, guys? Bflattened here with a brand new video today that's a little bit different from what I normally do. Since there's a lot of buzz around it, let's go ahead and talk about the Borderlands movie, shall we? Now, a lot of the articles and information coming is going to be from either the Borderlands Twitter, Mental Mars, or it's going to be on from the actors themselves. So that's where all my sources and information is coming from. A link to Mental Mars' website, if you want to do your own reading on it as well, is going to be in the description. Feel free to check that out. So we know that the production of the film and the filming of it is already complete. Borderlands Film tweeted that out. This was on June 22, end of 2021, or end of June of 2021. Whoops. We know that the filming and production is done already. So they did say that it was going to release sometime in 2022, whenever they're going to be doing the behind the scenes editing and completing on that. So the release date is coming sometime next year. That is something that we know already. Now, there's a lot of other things to talk about while we're going through with it. There is some behind the scenes photos that were shared. This is on Mental Mars's website, and all the photos was shared from Borderlands Film on Twitter, Gearbox and Borderlands on Twitter as well on their official accounts. So this is a behind the scenes photo for Claptrap. That was one of the first ones that was shared. And there's also the silhouettes of our characters. We have Lilith, we have Roland, we have Patricia Tanis, we have Claptrap, we have Tiny Tina, and we have Krieg. These are our cast. Lilith is being played by Kate Blanchett. Roland is Kevin Hart. Tanis is Jamie Lee Curtis. Claptrap is Jack Black. Tiny Tina is Ariana Greenblatt. And Krieg is Florian Munteanu. Now, while we're on the topic of Roland and Kevin Hart, there is a lot of backlash that happened with that casting. Everyone else seems to be fairly good for their casting role, but Roland and Kevin Hart was always the one that was like the wild card that everybody was talking about and saying. So there is some information on that as well if you were curious. Let's go ahead and go and talk over the biggest concerns. So Kevin's character Kevin's character and Kevin's height are basically the two biggest ones that were always talked about. Kevin Hart is known as a comedian and not an action hero like Roland is portrayed as. However, Kevin Hart has actually been training with Navy SEALs in order to get into the role. He's been sharing photos of himself working out so that he has a great physique for the role. That way he's all tanked up and things like that. He's also been doing really good with weapons and hand-to-hand combat from Navy SEALs training. So his character is going to be the serious Roland that we know from, say, Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2 time period. The other one is always going to be Kevin Hart's height. The only thing that I really have to say about that is camera tricks are very wonderful. There's a lot of money that's going into this production, and it's a very simple camera trick. If you've ever seen the movies, things like Lord of the Rings or Elf, I promise you that the Hobbit's height are not actually their height. The person who plays the main Hobbit, he's about 5'4", 5'2". In the movie, he was portrayed as about 4 feet. And the elves in Elf, I assure you, Will Ferrell is not 10 feet tall, and those elves are not 3 feet tall. It's a very simple camera trick that requires really good lighting, a green screen, and 2 separate films that are basically going on at the same time. Essentially what happens is that there's 2 separate filmings that go on with the same background and the same everything. So you film Kevin Hart closer to the camera, and then you do a separate film of the rest of the cast further away back, and then you combine the 2 scenes together, and there's your scene. Kevin Hart appears taller and bigger. The other cast members who are not supposed to be taller or bigger than him are behind him. There's tons of makeup tutorials on YouTube and TikTok, and that budget is free, and those are completely huge transformations. So I'm sure $1 billion can definitely go somewhere for that. All we really need is Kevin Hart to play the character. That's the biggest concern. He also commented and quoted that this is nothing like you've ever seen. He says it looks like the game, which is going to be interesting. Hopefully, we get to see a little bit better from that. And finally, the last thing is going to be the plot, the synopsis of what is going to happen. So if you haven't seen it and don't want to know about it, look away now. But this is going to be our plot line. So Lilith is an infamous outlaw with a mysterious past, reluctantly returns to her home of Pandora to find the missing daughter of the universe's most powerful SOB, Atlas. Now, keep in mind that there's going to be some characters that are not going to be in the game. These are their own OG characters, kind of like in the movie of Lord of the Rings. There was a few characters that weren't in the book. Same sort of deal with this. Missing daughter of the universe's most powerful SOB, Atlas. Lilith forms an alliance with an unexpected team. Roland, a former elite mercenary now desperate for redemption. Tiny Tina, a feral preteen demolitionist. Krieg, played by Florian Munteanu, Tina's muscle-bound, rhetorically challenged protector. Tanis, the scientist with a tenuous grip on sanity. And Claptrap, a persistently wise-ass robot. These unlikely heroes must battle alien monsters and dangerous bandits to find and protect the missing girl, who may hold the key to unimaginable power. The fate of the universe could be in their hands, but they'll be fighting for something more: each other. So, there's going to be some original characters, like mentioned, the daughter, the missing daughter, the most universe powerful. That's an original character, and we have no idea what their actual like play is besides what we have here in front of us. And there's also with this link here a reaction from I think this is CinemaCon. There's not going to be any footage. It's just going to be the reaction of people who went to CinemaCon that saw a little bit about the Borderlands movie and their reaction to it. If you want any of these links, are all going to be in the description, so you can do your own reading. I just did a sum up of the important bits. So if you want to do your own reading, feel free to check that out. Things are going to be posted from Mental Mars, Borderlands, and Borderlands Film on Twitter. So do your own diving and digging. The movie is set to release sometime in 2022. I'm going to be taking a wild guess. It's going to be in the second half. Usually Q2, Q3 is what I'm expecting to have it released. Here's the big infamous photo of all the characters, the silhouettes of them all standing together. Yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. Are you going to go seeing the movie? Are you excited for the movie? Any concerns? Anything like that? Feel free to discuss it as well. I'm really, really excited. I don't usually watch movies, but I'm definitely going to go see this one and do a coverage of it as well. For those who are on the middle ground of I don't know if I want to see it or if it's good or not. So don't worry, when that comes out, I will definitely keep you guys updated and covered on that. I think that's all I have to say, though. My name is Bflattened. I'm signing on out of here. Take care, all. Laters.